This is something I try to avoid with my site, Rocky Me Amadeus, and well, it's the junk on the floor here, but that's not what I'm talking about. I was watching some Pink video. Um, Let me see this. The stupid TV can't show anything on the screen. Maybe from back here. Oh, yeah, I know how to do this. This is what you do. You turn off the light and then you aim it at the TV. And if you tell it to focus, there we go. You can see the credits at the end of a video. I don't know which Pink video it is, but it's just like they were using this kind of basically this melody that just kept repeating, da da do da dee do da do da da do 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 do, and it sounds like one of those loops that you've heard from everybody and their dog. It's just a different beat, a different person saying some lyrics, and then they just sit there and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, just because they want their credits to come through, and nobody gives a shit at this point. And if there's anybody on there, it's more going to their ego, but in reality, nobody gives a shit. At least that's what you think, unless you're some profession in the arts and you want to see if such and such worked on this. I'm sure the artist who worked on the video, who was really a great guy, that everybody knew was big in the field and stuff like that. But the thing is that Pink, what the fuck are you doing? Are you going to let the sound go out and then like not have anything there? Or, I mean, what are you doing with the scenery in the credits? Is it simply the credits? And you're going to repeat that at the end of your song for how many cycles are you going to go through on this? Okay, because you're coming across as, look at what great ass I am. Look at my ass. Can you see my snatch in this? Can you see my asshole? Look, is my asshole great? Look, I pierced my asshole. That's the way I feel at the end of the video, is that I'm just kind of like, shit, this is something I'm going to have to get into my playlist, and I'm going to have to mess with trying to cut it down so that it doesn't have the shit on the end of the video. And she's like, sure, you can do that. I said, I don't want to do that. And the reason why I can't, why you gave me a reason why I have to go in there and mess with that video, because I just don't want to. It says that I'm a weak individual. I didn't make it easy enough that I could go in and do that. But it's just like, just listening to it, it's like an advertisement in itself. It's going to sit there and repeat something over and over again as if it was something great. And that's, I would say that the art in the video is great, but doing that is somebody who just loves themselves too much, is the feeling I get from it. I don't know if Pink is that way, but I mean, she's made some pretty good stuff, but when I look at that video, it's just like, so you mixed in a lot of 50s genre of 40s, 50s genre, and entered in a little bit of LGBTQ plus expression, and really just, I'm not saying gay, it's just, I mean, that's it. And it's, it's interesting, but at the end of the day, how many people are going to say that was such a great video, because it really comes across as being kind of an, hey, look what I could do. It's like looking at Stewart on Mad TV saying, hey, look what I can do. That's what I call these things, is that, hey, look what I can do. Is there anything in there that would draw you into wanting to watch the credits. In Pixar movies, what do? They put animation in the screen. What do? You put a still static picture, repeat the same music over and over to get everybody's name in the credits. Okay, so to basically show all the asses that you're going to kiss in front of everybody, and just to make everybody feel good. But in the end, you're dealing with guys like me or other kinds of people on YouTube. They're sitting there watching the music videos, and then they're like working on something, and they're like, why is this tune repeating? You go over there and you see these people, and it's kind of like, it's in essence that probably she's kissing people's asses, for the good of the video. But I mean, leave that on a special video, and with the general YouTube video, don't put that shit in there, because people just don't give a shit. If they did, they'd go out and they'd buy your album, and but unless Pink did it for a reason, and that was to say, I'm doing this because I have to, but these people really don't matter to me, because these asswipes are just really supporting the video just to get themselves in the video. And the reality is, I didn't want to make this video in the first place, so fuck them. I'm going to put my music into it, make them feel like they were special somethings, and then it's really people just going to hate the end of the video because there's not much in there. I mean, it's really kind of a sad way to take it. It may have not been the case. It may just be that I'm a complete asshole. But the thing is that realistically, to my website, I don't like to see such things, because on the end of the video, I don't want people to be sitting there waiting forever for the thing to get over with. And you find it on old 70s, 60s, 80s music. They just tend to, especially 90s, they just tend to repeat the same junk over and over again. It's like, hey, I found a great little loop. I did a Farajaka, Farajaka, where you keep repeating, and then it says, look, you can do this and it works. And then you just keep repeating over again. He says, isn't this fascinating? And it's kind of like you're going around a turning circle, but you won't get off. That's the sort of thing that really bothers me with those things, is that they just never leave the turning signal. They're afraid, just like on my previous video, they're afraid to be vulnerable. And so, because they've got this one thing that works, they think there's something special, and they're going to milk it for all it's worth. And whereas the average person is going to say, that's kind of neat, I'm going to something different. You would never see it in a Star Trek Next Generation episode, because they have to keep changing the camera angles to keep people watching. And that's the reason why I have one static video of me talking through a very fuzzy lens, which I probably should clean and have proper lighting, but it's not something you usually get. People come across through here and they say, what is this? This is something worth watching. But the thing is the thing that people like about my videos is I completely do the Ed Wood type thing, and I just kind of like, fuck video editing. I'm not going to video edit this. I'm just getting my message in, and there's no point in really, trying to edit it. And I see this way, everything's different. There's nobody else involved. It's just me. It's me, and I'm just kind of pointing out that it's really kind of stupid to be sitting there listening to a song that just repeats on, but that might have been fantastic, but I'm from a different opinion, and I'm not particularly a big fan of Pink, and I just don't understand why they can be so fucking full of themselves and have so much vanity. And vanity is a sin, and the reason why it's a sin is because it's false pride. It's using good design, good art in a really bad way. It's actually bad art because it's kind of like you've seen it a million times. And I mean, basically, some artist that works in this particular way, not Pink, but the person who did her video, did her video design, and the there are certain people in there that came together to make the video, make it a period piece for that video, but then sits there and repeats the same. Pink did a kind of disservice to them by having that in the video. And if you see this kind of thing anywhere in any kind of technology, if it ever happens, I would say that the artist is doing an essential, hey, these are people that are super vain and super conceited and all this kind of shit, and I'm required to show their names, so I'm going to stick in a really annoying loop of the song so that those people get their names in, but most people after one or two rounds of that song are going to leave the screen and go do something else or fall asleep or go and get something to eat, or and so the people essentially get ignored, and Pink is like, hey, it worked, and nobody gives a shit about the people in the end, because she could have had some animated characters in there, or like a fluffy little cloud going across the screen, and being chased by a guy in a janitor or something. He's going around, he's getting to the fluffy something. Because if you don't have something in there to keep somebody fascinated, it just is bullshit and nobody's going to sit through it. Same with credits at the end of the movie. What was so big about Smokey and the Bear credits? Because they put all their the stuff that was let out of the movie, all the funny stuff, goes at the end of the movie in the credits. That's the reason why people watch Smokey and the Bear movies, or anything with Burt Reynolds, is because Burt Reynolds will put in all the stuff with Dom DeLuise where he cracks up at the end of the movie. That was big in the 80s. That's part of the reason why people went to watch Smokey and the Bandit. It wasn't only the movie, but he figured out a way to make the credits entertaining so that it wouldn't bore the shit out of people, okay? So you just learned something.